Google releases two programs, Cloud Natural Language to draw meaning from text and Cloud Speech to convert speech to text, so now everyone will understand the words that are coming out of Chris Tucker's mouth. Welcome to Machine Learning in a Nutshell. I'm Mark Register. Google reduces its data center's cooling energy use by 40% and its total data center energy use by 15% using DeepMind, which can predict the incoming computational load and match it with the cooling needed for the servers so everyone can watch T-Swift play with cats on YouTube at the same time. Instagram and Deep Dream have a Russian baby called Prisma, which employs neural network processing to better identify objects and the entire scene to convert your photo and soon video into a piece of artwork in the vein of your favorite art genre. There are so many to choose from, so you'll just have to catch them all. Chinese search company Baidu creates music compositions for images by identifying elements in the image, determining the mood and overall feel, then can either pick an existing song that fits with the emotional story or compose one from scratch, making most music composers obsolete. Except for Randy Newman. Elliot Waite from Magenta open sources his Lookback recurrent neural network and attention recurrent neural network, allowing for machines to learn longer-term musical structure and potentially story structure as well by referencing earlier patterns like melody, creating recurring themes just like a song would. And you thought music was formulaic now? Math PhDs will produce the Grammy-winning albums of the future. Luckily, Dre already has his doctorate. Bay Systems lands a $9.4 million contract over 3 years with the U.S. Air Force to help develop, integrate, and demonstrate a machine learning platform specifically to tackle space situational awareness and be able to predict new scenarios not encountered before. Bay is worried about the Air Force starting contracts with other machine learning contractors, but the U.S. Air Force continues to assure Bay, "You know you're my only Bay." Elon Musk's OpenAI nonprofit is using automated warehouse robots from Fetch Robotics and loading them with reinforcement machine learning software so they can learn how to do domestic tasks like folding laundry, doing the dishes, and making you meatloaf. If they can successfully use Fetch's standard robots already in production and just improve the machine learning software, they could make a home helper robot affordable for most anyone, bringing us closer to our Wall-E future. Google releases Bubble Zoom for its ebook service, Google Play Books, using machine learning to recognize and zoom in on text bubbles when you press a button to forward it. What's the next step forward for using machine learning on comic books? Using natural language and image processing to get the tone and context of each scene, then animate key parts of the image. Harry Potter did something like this with their interactive newspaper, but Harry Potter also made jelly beans flavored as vomit and grass. Public algorithm repository and marketplace Algorithmia, which offers trained deep learning models, secures a deal with nonprofit VC firm In-Q-Tel, whose purpose is to keep the CIA and other intelligence agencies up to date with cutting-edge technology. Algorithmia will create a private version of their public repository for U.S. intelligence agencies. When asked what the difference was between the public and government version, the CIA said,
"All the things you do, I do a better version of all those things."
Sir Ben Ansley Racing Team partners with Land Rover to create the fastest boat for the British America's Cup event, putting 300 sensors on testing boats to collect inputs like distance from the boat to the water and using machine learning to analyze maneuvers, changes in the wind, an optimal way to sail the boat, and how to model the stability of the boat for optimum speed. Britain, fighting to regain first place from the U.S. in a sailing competition, is analogous to the U.S. fighting to regain first place from Japan in an eating competition. Scientists are able to map out an additional 100 regions in the brain, including how they relate to sensory and motor inputs and processing, totaling 360 regions to date. Popular Science explains 3 brain mapping techniques were used. A task-based fMRI tells what areas relate to what function. A map of myelin, which makes up the cerebral cortex, text and gives information about the architecture of certain areas, and a resting state fMRI, which provides information on how neurons within and between different regions talk to one another. They then trained a machine learning classifier to recognize the distinct fingerprint of each region within the cerebral cortex. John Mayer, we can now figure out what's wrong with you so you can say this is the way that you used to be. Have a great week.